The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Flagstaff Fire Department, Arizona, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 38647. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation. Starting first with the front of the vehicle, moving up to the very roof line, the brow of the apparatus, you'll find 5 identification clearance lights along with your emergency warning light bar. Now to the grille area, along with the Pierce logo, you'll find 2 forward-facing emergency warning lights. Moving to the front bumper extension, you'll find located in the center, D-handle will gain you access to the first front storage location for hose. Dry deck material located within inside this area, along with a license plate holder bracket in the very face of the front bumper. As we move over to the under section of the front bumper, you'll find open-ended tow hooks both on the passenger and driver's side. Located on the driver's side, D-handle gains you access into an additional storage location for your front bumper load. Swivel discharge located on the outside edge of the bumper. As we move directly behind the swivel discharge into the cutout area of the front bumper, this is where you'll find the ball valve located for local control. Moving down to the forward face of the front bumper, you'll find a cutout here for your electronic siren and PA speaker, along with a recessed on the side emergency warning side facing. Moving up to the headlight structure, housing low and high beam headlights, along with a turn indicator marker light. At the very top, you'll find the air inlet along with the top of the fender where you'll find a turn indicator. Steel wheel Michelin tires. Moving out to the rear of the fender where you'll find the release mechanism for unlocking the hood. As we move now to the full view of the cab area, let's go ahead and focus in on the door area just below. The grab handle and the door lock, which is easily accessible with a gloved hand, is the fill location for the DEF tank, which is the blue cap, and also the fill location for the fuel tank ultra low sulfur, which is the silver cap. Let's go ahead and move now inside the cab area, starting first with the door panel. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information. At the very top of the door panel, you'll find electric controls for your mirror. Also, as we move to the floor of the apparatus, you'll find at the base of the seat your switch, which is your master battery switch, quarter turn on, quarter turn off. As we move to the seat, this is an air ride seat. There are controls here for comfort located on the side and front portion of the seat. Also within this area, you'll find this yellow placard indicating the information regarding your vehicle. Date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, the VIN number, all of the fluid capacities within the apparatus, along with the amount and also fluid type. Moving now up to the dash area, let's start on the left with your headlights. Moving now to the yellow placard indicating the height of the vehicle, 9 feet 7 inches, length of the vehicle, 25 feet 11 inches, gross vehicle weight rating, 36,000 pounds. This also houses the 5-digit job number 38647. As we move to the dash cluster, you'll find the speedometer and tachometer located on the left and right, fuel and DEF level, water temp, front and rear air, transmission temp, and oil pressure. Moving to the right, you'll find your 4-way flasher or hazard lights. We'll go over this area in just a few moments with an expanded version. Climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Moving to the right, you'll find the air filter minder for your engine. Moving down and to the left is where you'll find the control knob for gaining access to the menu, which is inside the center cluster for engine information. AM/FM weather band radio, 12-volt access via barrel style and USB, ignition switch, additional 12-volt access via barrel style and USB, and then also just to the right the yellow diamond, which is your pull to apply your system parking brake, and push to release. These are the rear spring brakes. Moving back up to the switch cluster at the very top, you'll find the exhaust brake, Allison transmission, 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive switch, low speed, high speed, parked regen, inhibit regen, close-up of the air filter. Moving down, an additional close-up of the 12-volt access, AM/FM weather band radio, pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release the rear spring brake, 12-volt access, ignition. Moving now to the dash cluster, you'll find at the very top all of our tally light information for warning and stop engine information. Also, you'll find master switch for your emergency warning lights, and then also scene lights, pump switch, foam switch, high idle indicator, fire pump primer, digital readout for the pump pressure and water tank level indicator, electronic siren and PA speaker system, along with your pressure controller. Close up here of those switches now. Also to the siren and PA speaker system module. Close up of the primer, pump pressure, and water tank level indicator, along with a close up of the pressure controller. Let's look overhead in the cab area. Moving back to the exterior, grab handle. As we move just inside the cab, affix the door panel, safety and warning placard information. At the base of the seat to the rear is where you'll find the battery charger at the rear floor area. When plugged into Shoreline power, this will become active. Moving to the rear console, where you'll find 12-volt access via USB. There are two located on the left and right side. Back now to the exterior, where at the rear cab area step, D-handle gains you access into this space, along with the Shoreline inlet 20-amp auto eject. Storage location at the base of the step area. As we move now to the over pump area, where you'll find a booster line and also free tension spool knob at the very top portion. General view of the pump panel, let's start on the left-hand side with the master pump discharge gauge. Just below that, you'll find the master pump intake gauge. Moving just to the right of this location, a warning placard, entanglement hazard. Because of the lines coming from aloft, there's the possibility of entanglement. Water level indicator along with a foam level indicator. Audible speaker. Outer edge does rotate left and right to increase or decrease sound, along with an OK to pump indicator. We do have some foam system instructions located here on the placard. And to the very far right, a pump hours indicator. Let's move just downward on the pump panel, starting first on the left-hand side with your pressure throttle governor. Just inside that location is where you'll find the pressure controller. And then further to the right in the red module, there are instructions for its operation. This is your Husky 3 foam system control module. To the right, vacuum and pressure test gauge ports. They are currently plugged and are utilized for testing purposes. We do have some panel lights in addition with left and right side scene lights and a reel rewind push button. Let's move further down on the pump panel. You'll find the number 1 speed lay. It is capable of foam discharge. To the right, you'll find the reel discharge. It is also foam capable. Moving now to the electric prime push button, minimum 1000 RPMs for best practices. Tank fill and recirculating line. Just below that, you'll find the tank to pump. In is open, out is closed, along with an instruction information for your Husky 3 foam system, along with a warning placard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. Engine cooler. This is a twist, not a pull. Large diameter pump inlet on the driver's side. Moving down to the pan door in the lower right-hand corner. This is for gaining access for the foam system, whether you're in operational mode or in fill mode. We also have, in the very forward section of the pump, auxiliary inlet 2.5-inch female, locally controlled via the ball valve. Also a discharge located here, controlled via ball valve. Foam lever at the very bottom, all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. On the vertical bulkhead is where you'll find test pressures for 150, 200, and 250. The associated RPM and GPM are located on this placard. As we move down to the body section, let's start at the very top with the side-facing scene light. Moving now to the body section, you'll find grab handles located here for gaining access aloft. D handle will gain you access into the compartment space. Overwheel compartment with adjustable shelving, LED lighting, and ventilation. Emergency warning light. Moving down to the rear compartment, adjustable shelving, LED lighting, and ventilation. To the lower portion, you'll find a drop-down access panel for storage location here at the rear. This is directly to the rear of the axle. Mud flaps. Moving back up, you'll find an emergency warning light side-facing, which is part of the lower zone. As we move just to the front and rear of the axle, you'll find storage locations in front and also storage location to the rear of the axle. Moving down to the rear axle, once again, Michelin tire, steel wheel. Moving to the rear portion of the apparatus, we'll start in the upper left-hand corner. Trigger latch will gain you access into this upper left-hand compartment, along with hose storage in the open compartment. We do have some additional warning placard information here, starting at the top with a warning regarding entanglement hazard. Also warning regarding never ride on the vehicle while it's in motion. And then also when climbing on or off, always face the vehicle. Brake, turn, reverse, and emergency warning light. Lower portion step release located in the lower portion of the angled part of the bumper. Moving down to the center section, you'll find adjustable shelving and LED lighting in addition with ventilation. Moving to the very bottom section, we have some additional discharges located here. First, starting on the left with a pressure warning hazard, along with the driver rear discharge, locally controlled via ball valve. Located toward the very center section, you'll find a direct tank fill, locally controlled via the ball valve. Moving to the right, an additional discharge, locally controlled via ball valve. Also to the very far right, an additional discharge, locally controlled via the ball valve, along with a backpack fill location, garden hose connection. Let's move up to the upper right-hand side. Trigger latch accesses the brushed stainless door in the very top section, along with hose storage. D-handle gains you access into the next compartment at the rear. This is where your ladder storage is, 14-foot roof, 24 extension, and 2 pipe pull storage locations. Back to the rear onto the passenger side, brake, turn, reverse. Moving further down, emergency warning light. Moving to the lower section, on the angled portion is the step drop down. Moving now around to the passenger side of the vehicle, same configuration and layout. We'll start in the upper portion with a side-facing emergency warning light. Moving into the compartment, same configuration, adjustable shelf, LED lighting, and ventilation. Moving to the lower portion, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light, part of the lower zone, and also an additional storage compartment. Trigger latch gains you access into this space also. Moving to the rear, we have mud flaps to the rear of the axle. Moving up toward the top, you'll find a side-facing scene light. As we move to the over wheel compartment, adjustable shelving, LED lighting, and ventilation. As we move in front of and rear of the axle is where you'll find additional storage locations. Steel wheel, Michelin tire. Moving now to the very bottom section where you'll find the exhaust location. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operation. Please be cautious where you choose to park your vehicle. Moving to the forward section, we do have an angled compartment in the forward section pump panel area. As we move now to the pump panel area, we'll identify a few items within this area. Let's start at the very top with a warning placard regarding entanglement hazard. Because of the lines coming from aloft, there is the possibility of entanglement. Just below that, you'll find the water strainer. Further down in this area, you'll find the number 2 speedlay. It is also foam capable. Moving further down, we do have some additional placards within this area indicating the pump manufacturer, Darley, capacity 1000 GPM. Also the deadlay located in the very front, along with a pressure hazard and reel rewind push button, along with a water strainer drain. At the very bottom section, you'll find the passenger side auxiliary inlet 2.5 locally controlled via ball valve female inlet. This is a long vertical compartment just to the rear portion of the pump panel, and below the running board you'll find the passenger side auxiliary inlet drain. Full view of the cab section. Let's go ahead and start with the rear portion of the cab. Grab handle and easily accessible door handle along with a keyed lock. This is the front discharge. As we move to the step area, D-handle gains you access into this space. They are locking and it's an additional storage location. Moving forward to this location to the forward cab where you'll find a flat mirror and convex mirror. Also grab handle and door latch. Step well into the cab area. This is into the officer space. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information, manual window controls, and manual door locks. General view inside the cab area. Let's move back to the exterior to the rear portion of the fender where you'll find the release mechanism recessed here for opening your hood. At the top section of the fender, you'll find turn indicator marker and also air inlet. Steel wheel once again, Michelin front tire. We're moving forward from this location. Headlight structure along with turn indicator. Moving now to the bumper extension where you'll find a recessed emergency warning light along with your siren in the angled area. Swivel discharge located on the right hand side. To the rear cutout areas where you'll find the ball valve for open and close. Inside the D-handled area was your tubbed storage location for the passenger side front bumper load. Congratulations, Flagstaff Fire Department, Arizona, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 38647. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.